Welcome to Cigar Time, your still very friendly show all about premium cigars after all these years. How many years is it now?
We'll probably be
Seven?
close to
Seven?
Actually, yeah, by now it should be
Is that
seven.
our
7
year?
years. Wow.
Yeah.
We've been in your home every week for 7 years. It's about time you dusted it off.
And we'd like to thank that one guy for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, Sam.
Well,
Thank
we
you,
got
sir.
50,000 people watching. Or maybe it's one guy watching 50,000 times. It could be a gal, too.
Could be.
Could be a
We
lot
do
of
have a lot of
women.
We have a lot of women.
Yes, we
as
do.
I have found out
As you
recently.
found out, yes, you have a crush out there.
For the record, I only have one woman. In case she's watching. I don't have a lot of women.
Once again, we welcome back Robert Holt from Southern Draw Cigars, one of the hottest boutique brands out there. And do you like being referred to as a boutique brand?
Whatever's comfortable for
Okay.
you. Because I don't even know the definition of it. Is it based on volume? Is it based on sales, production?
Here's the problem.
Or is it just about premium handmade cigars?
Well, here's the problem I have. When we first started out 25 years ago, with the exception of a couple giant companies, none of the brands existed.
Right.
Now today, a lot of those brands are mainstream brands, and they don't like to be referred to as boutique brands. And a few years back, a very famous maker was in here, and I had to remind him, I said, look, when you started out, and I remembered when he started out, I said, you would have been considered a boutique brand because he now that he's so mainstream and so well known, he doesn't like that moniker. He doesn't like to be referred to as a boutique line. And I guess most people wouldn't think of him that way.
Right.
But I still do in a sense.
Well, you started out with the guy, but for me, I just don't want to offend any of the godfathers, kings, and queens of this industry. Whatever they want to call me, I'll accept the moniker. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
As long as
But I'm
the
not
checks
gonna-
don't bounce.
But I'm not going to stake claim to being boutique or mainstream or whatever it may be because I don't know what the true definition is. But all we can say is we do the best we can with what we have, and because of those partners that you've known for many years, we have access to a lot of great tobaccos, and it's been a good run. We appreciate being here. I'm excited.
Cool.
We're excited to have you here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
And I think, Scott, we're doing something tomorrow, right?
Actually, yeah, up in Colmar. Geez, off the top of my head, I guess it's from 4 to 8, but you'll get your emails. Robert's actually going to be in the store talking about the brand, talking about everything it's about, and I'm sure we're going to have some pretty cool deals on all the stuff. So if you have not had a chance to try the cigar, you definitely should.
I like cool deals.
Sure.
I think today what we should do,
First of all, what are we smoking?
oh yeah, well I was coming to that.
Okay, sure you are.
I think what we should do is one, describe what we're smoking today, and then two, I think I'd like to get into a discussion about some of the other brands that are very well known, like the Homage to Your Wife, the Rose of Sharon, et
Yes,
cetera,
sir.
et cetera. Jacob's Ladder, your son. And we talked last week about the 300 hands, but I also know that you do a lot of work with the military and things like that. I think we should kind of cover that. So describe what we're smoking today.
Well, not any different than the aforementioned brands and blends of Southern Draw you just mentioned. This is the Cedrus. This was the fifth core line for Southern Draw. It joined the Firethorn, Kudzu, Rose of Sharon, and Jacob's Ladder. This Cedrus is a Bouzouki Sumatra wrapper, and if you've smoked a lot of Sumatra, you know it doesn't look this dark and oily traditionally. You don't
No, it
see
doesn't
No,
at
not at
all.
all.
it is an incredible alphabet soup of tobaccos. I mean, literally, we've been able to acquire some great materials in this Habana 92, Habana 2000, a beautiful tobacco from the Quilali region of Nicaragua, which is
Yeah, you
really
don't
not
think-
heard
yeah,
of by most
I
people,
know, you
right?
don't think of that,
So
yeah.
when I say alphabet soup, it's there, but it's meant to be a medium plus bodied cigar. I think it's the first blend that we can say that truly is savory and floral and herbal in nature, where traditionally, again, we focus on the traditional looks at the leathers and the cocos and the woods and the charred oak and those kind of wonderful flavors. But this is savory, it's floral, it's herbal. We're smoking in particular the first release. We've never used the Bellicoso as the first release size. We've always gone Robusto, Toro, Gordo, Lancero, Perfectos. But out of respect for our very close family members here at Southern Draw, Phil and Shelley Hogan, retired U.S. Navy. It's right there on the box. You'll see it on the art. We released this in a special size, the 10-count box that's in front of us, in a limited number series of 5,000 boxes. to honor them. And it's done wonderfully well for us. It's been a great fit, right in the middle of our spectrum, right in the middle of our profile, from left to right. You know, you got the lightest all the way to the fullest bodied Jacobs, but this fits right in the middle. And proud to announce that we just extended this line to the traditional Robusto, Toro, and Gordo sizes. So it's going to be a great addition, I think, to the lineup.
Same 10 count boxes, the vertical.
This box design that I designed is really only for anniversary or celebratory bellicosos. So everything else will be in the traditional vertical cabinet style 20 count boxes and refill bundles.
Cool.
First impressions?
Very peppery. A lot of spice coming through on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Also, on the light, I got a very sweet taste to it. Very sweet.
Marianne?
I'm not getting the pepper, but this is
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
I'm getting a nice amount of spice. I actually prefer this over the kudzu. I apologize, but this is such a good cigar. But I'm not
no need
getting
to
a blast
apologize.
of
No,
not
no.
getting a blast of pepper at all. Maybe a little bit of sweetness, but I do taste the savory, not the pepper.
As for me, I'm not getting the blast of pepper either. It's
Wow.
there. There's a little pepper there, no question about it.
Our whole tongue's tingling.
Yeah, mine
It's
too.
funny.
Do me a favor. Give me a nice quarter retro hill, and then I want to ask you something. Just literally give me a little quarter retro,
Marianne,
and
how
then
did you cut
let me
yours?
challenge
Say
something for
The
you.
way it was recommended to do an
His
angle
is,
cut.
his is straight across. Mine's on an angle. Yours is on an angle.
I
So
prefer
that
the
doesn't-
angle.
The angle is
A little
better.
more surface area, a little more smoke, and I
Absolutely.
promise you, you put them side by side, this will produce more smoke. But if you retro it, then I'm going to ask you something, because you said pepper, and we said no pepper on this end. I don't get black or red pepper. What I do get in this blend, and what was intended, is more of a green chili spice. It's a smoother, but it's more of a green chili, savory kind of
It's a great
profile. But it's not
great
black or
taste.
red or white pepper.
I
It's
do
not
get a
gritty.
savory
No.
taste from it.
It's a
I
very
don't get
savory
that.
taste.
Yeah.
What's
What,
savory taste like?
Really? You've never had
This.
savory in a cigar?
This.
It's a very pleasant taste.
It tastes like this.
I don't know. Can I buy savory at the supermarket?
Yeah. They sometimes Giant
Is
has
it
them on
next to the
sale.
current?
Chicken bouillon is savory.
Bouillon.
Bouillon is savory. It's meant to be the deepest, richest flavors that comes from whatever that product is. Bouillon's a great example, right? That's concentrated. It's savory. When you put hot water on it, what happens? You have
There
a
you
nice,
go.
savory, bowl of broth. In this case, you take all these beautiful tobaccos and all the oils, and it's concentrated in this cigar. So when the heat hits it and it warms it, the savory nature should come out. It should be very concentrated.
Very savory
I
pepper.
absolutely
And I knew
get it.
some bouillionaires in my
Savory
time.
pepper.
You know what? I'm just calling it pepper, but it could be the chili that you're talking about, the green chili. But it's
that's just
it's,
my
it's
palate, but-
spice.
yeah.
That's
It's a spice.
This smokes like a very expensive cigar. What's the price points on this cigar?
MSRP, $11.99. The most expensive cigar from Southern Draw Cigars. A little bit of a backstory. When this was released a few years ago at the trade show, obviously most people that spend time with us on the road know that Courtney Taylor is our financial associate, our contractor, our consultant. He's a great guy. And this cigar was we were bringing it out at $14.99, which really is a very low margin cigar for us. It's an expensive cigar to produce.
Yeah, I was going to say, it smokes like a very expensive
But
cigar.
at the trade show, right before the cameras came on, and we announced this, and we unveil it with the Hogans and the entire family, which consequently I couldn't get through because I teared up. But they're just good people, and it's the best I can do to pay respect to them. I slashed that price to $11.99, and it's the greatest thing we did. It's a low margin cigar, but it shows some discipline and it shows some maturity and I think some refinement for a little brand from Texas, right? I think it really kind of takes us to another level. I tell people all the time, I really believe that as time goes on, if we continue to grow, the industry will judge us based on this particular blend among all the other ones that we've released. It's that uniquely different, I think.
It's very tasty.
Very
It is.
savory.
I mean, right from the get-go. Very savory.
Seriously, I'm going to kick your ass.
Savory.
Oh, you can't say
I've
that
heard
word.
people refer to you as, that might have been
No.
unsavory.
Unsavory. He is unsavory.
Whatever.
Dumbass.
That's twice. Man, you got that?
Talk about the
Let's talk about the cut
the military.
or that. That's more
We'll talk
important.
about both. Most of us are enjoying this on a little slight angle cut. Again, personal preference, Everybody that smokes
Yeah,
cigars
yeah.
has their favorite cutter, and whatever event they went to, the vendor talked them into whatever the newest gadget is.
Right.
But for me, any Bellicoso or Perfecto, if you will, Torpedo, Diademas, in this case Bellicoso, a slight angle cut, as you'll see, this is about 30 degrees, creates more surface area, allows us, A, to direct the smoke anywhere on the palate. Not everybody smokes
Down the middle.
If you smoke it right down the middle, it's on the middle. In this case, I rotate my cigars when I smoke them. I'm
I
not
do
sure
too.
about you guys,
I
but
do the same thing.
directing this onto the soft palate is an experience in itself, but when you direct it to the roof of your mouth, it's another thing. And when you retro, it's an entirely different animal. You'll get more surface area, you get more airflow, you're going to produce more smoke, and to me, it's a night and day experience over just a straight cut or even a V cut. A lot of these are triple cap, of course, traditionally in the industry, so sometimes a straight cut, you're not getting through all those caps unless you really go into the shoulders of the cigar. So the angle allows you to maintain the integrity as well. Doesn't unravel on you. I don't think ours are unraveled today.
Yeah.
Of course, it'll happen now that I said that.
Right.
No, it won't. I doubt it will.
These are really well made. That's
Yeah,
not
they're
gonna
very
happen.
well made.
We have great partners. We really do. On the military side, again, most people will see the logo on our box or any collateral material. Southern Draw is a veteran-owned and veteran-operated company. I'm of 6 generations of Army service, and again, it was my honor. I'm not asking for any accolades for that, but most
You have some interesting stories to tell about your service.
I think everybody that served has some interesting stories.
Yeah,
Some
well,
of them are BS, like
yeah.
fishing stories, you know.
yeah, but yours is a
Yeah,
pretty good story.
But complementing the rest of the family, for example, we're smoking the Cedrus. This size is called the Hogan, retired U.S. Navy. I think one of the most important things that we want to tell the folks at home is, if you've served, we want to say thank you. But if you were in a family, if you were a husband or a wife or a child or a grandchild, we want to say thank you, because most people, we need to acknowledge that families serve along our military. Communities serve along our military, because everybody has to support, whether you're near a military facility or you have someone from your community, maybe a young man or a young woman that grew up in this neighborhood, and you've known them and now they're serving, or maybe some of them have sacrificed their life. It's really important to us, I think, to share that message. Smoking cigars gives us a chance to have that conversation, and I think first and foremost, we don't put that logo on our boxes for me to get acknowledgement. I don't need acknowledgement. But we do want to honor our military servicemen and women and what they do and the sacrifices
We
that are
should.
made. So in doing so, we talked last week about the 300 Hands charity, but the Ignite charity, and if you visit southerndrawcigars.com, or you carry the Ignite series, each year Southern Draw chooses to support a single military charity. 2018, it was Cigars for Warriors. Great cause. If you've seen the pictures or you've seen the videos, you see the results of military servicemen and women that are deployed, getting cigars in their hand, having that few moments together, that little bit of the good life, if you will. Very important. This year it was the Navy SEAL Foundation. Again, we also have a partner that's Brother Daniel Peterson. He's retired Navy SEAL Team 1. He brought the foundation to our attention years ago. But this year we decided to put all of our Ignite project and all the charitable donations involved in that. But here's how we do it. Much like 300 Hands, we bring in cigars that are going to be released, that are in the production cycle. Brand new blends, brand new sizes, never before released. And we package those in 10 counts so that we keep the price point, $100 or less for consumers. And again, between us and our retail partners like yourselves and the consumers that are supporting all of us, we're all able to contribute quantifiable amounts of money to very specific charities and services. So in doing so, we'll expand that. We hope that Ignite next year, I think we have a Marine charity on board, and then we'll do an Air Force charity, and Lord help us, maybe the year after that we'll do a Coast Guard charity. At the end of the day, we get to spend some time on a boat and smoke cigars. But again,
nothing bad
That
about
sounds
that.
like a good time.
mission first, get the message across,
Yeah.
let people know how they can help and where the help is going. This year, the Navy SEAL Foundation, I'll tell you what's impressive. Top 1% of charities in America. If you vet out charities, everybody needs help and everybody wants help, and they don't mind asking all of us, right? But to feel good about something where you see 94 cents of every dollar that's spent on this line of cigars going directly to the services intended, I tell you what, it makes me feel good.
That's pretty
And
damn good.
I wish we could do more. But in doing that, I would like to say this to follow up from last week's 300 Hands and our Ignite military charities. We don't anticipate, or we don't see those as only Southern Draw projects. We would hope that other brands and other factories will join us in Honduras and the Dominican Republic and Cuba, Costa Rica, other cigar producing, tobacco growing countries. We don't need to take ownership and pride. We own those lines and those brands, but that concept is something that allows us to address things like the FDA regulation. Cigars for Warriors donations went way down.
Yes.
It made it difficult, but we found a legal way
of doing
for everybody to carry a third and a third and a third, so that every time we produce a cigar, 75 cents of that cigar is actually going. And I paid a quarter, you paid a quarter, and that consumer, you guys,
You paid a
you
quarter.
paid a quarter. And ultimately, that is something that we can do in perpetuity. So we would like to see those projects expand with other brands or something similar that allows us to address FDA, other regulations, and still make a direct impact to the causes.
That's awesome.
And a shout out to our friend George Sosa, a retired Master Chief, who's running our Florida operation. And so we do our part for the military as well.
Yeah.
You've got to be excited about that. The Sarasota market, the Florida market, and,
Oh, yeah,
and the
we are.
Master Chief himself.
Himself, who's very well known and very well liked in our industry.
Well, I'm excited for you, I tell you that.
I've known George for over 20 years since he retired from the Navy, and we are very fortunate to have him on board. And he's our partner in Florida, and he's working day and night, and he worked real hard to get the store set up and open. And that's just the beginning of our Florida operation. So, we're looking forward to great things. And again, our store on Route 611 at Edison Furlong Road is open now. Hopefully it's open now.
It better be.
Better be open by the time you see this. So, we're very, very, very excited. We are up to 17 stores now. And
Say that again?
17 stores.
17 stores.
Yeah.
I've been traveling a lot through Pennsylvania the last week
Yeah.
or two, and folks that know you, and I mean consumers, some of them watching the show, have said, "Oh, they've got to have at least 5 or 6 stores." And I literally grin because there's only 5 stores on our website that we brought it in initially. But I pull up your website and I show them locations, and they just get big-eyed and they go, "Wow, we had no idea." It's their community.
That's cccigars.com.
Right. I think that's great.
Is that a gratuitous plug?
Sure.
It's necessary. People need to know where they can go.
Yeah.
But the beauty of your
We can tell 'em
your
where to
model
go.
is in every community you have a shop. But the people in that community that have been going to that shop or just got their new shop only know about their shop.
Of course.
Right.
And they need to realize as they go north, south, east, and west, they've got options, brother.
They do.
It's
We need a
impressive.
better marketing.
Well, we don't, as we used to say all the time, we don't have stores on every corner, although it's seemingly getting
We're
that
getting
way.
there, yeah.
But again,
Every
as the
road.
weather's starting to chill down here,
21611,
we'd like to,
one's
we
on
just
30.
like to have you support your local brick and mortar retailer.
Amen.
That's north.
And they're the ones that give you the lounges in this part of the world. Not so much in Florida, but in this part of the world where you can smoke in the wintertime. You don't have to sit in your garage with the door cracked open a bit and a space heater. Come into our comfortable lounges. A lot of stores are open 24 hours a day for the lounge members, and we try our best to make smoking a very enjoyable thing, which I've enjoyed now for 57 years. It's hard to believe, but yeah, 57 years I've been smoking these
Been
things.
smoking longer than we've been alive.
You're like
I
baby
know.
Churchill. You're like baby
I
Churchill over
know,
here.
I know. It's been.
I've got a question for you about your stores I think is very applicable. As a guy that sees about 1,000 cigar shops a
yeah,
year,
you see a
all
lot.
over the country.
Yep.
I don't sleep much, and most people know that. How many of your stores, like the one we're sitting in today, open at 6 a.m. They have a hot pot of coffee on? That's what I want to know, because I think that's the most important. People waiting until 10 o'clock. We've missed our whole coffee cigar party
I know,
today, our
I
whole
know.
conversation.
Two of them open at
Yeah,
6.
6 o'clock.
One opens at 8.
Yeah.
I think another. Is there another? I think there's one opens at 9.
Yeah, something
think.
like that.
That is
Yeah.
phenomenal. I tell you what, especially traveling guys, we can sit in a hotel parking lot right and have a cigar.
Oh, yeah.
But you have real coffee.
yeah,
You have
good
good
coffee,
conversation.
too.
I walked
Yeah.
in this morning early and you had a whole table full
Oh,
of
yeah.
guys
Yeah.
telling stories.
You come here at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're waiting at the
Wow.
door.
Wow.
And I mean, it's an amazing conglomeration of people. You have people sitting around that table, and I know who all of them are. Obviously, we've been opening in the Horsham store. We've been opening at 6 a.m. for going on 15 years.
Wow.
And you're gonna have a guy around the table who's an insurance executive. You're gonna have a doctor. You're gonna have a lawyer or two, how they keep multiplying, you know how lawyers are. And I mean, you got guys there who are making well into six figures. You got guys in there that do blacktop on the driveway. You got guys. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful roster of people, and they all have one thing in common.
Yep.
Obviously, they like coffee, and we put out good coffee free, but they have a love of the leaf.
Absolutely.
A love of the leaf. And to sit there and listen, a lot of this is slinging the BS, but everybody's equal around that table,
And they solve the world's
and
problems.
they solve all the world's
Every
problems.
day.
So they can solve your problem too.
Every day.
The world will just listen.
Yeah.
You know, getting back to the cut of the cigar, I'm rotating puffs. Like one, I'll direct it to the roof of my mouth. The next one, and I'm definitely getting definitely slightly
Yeah,
different flavors,
complex.
but different mouthfeel and where I'm tasting the tobacco. It's
Right.
interesting. It's a much softer. Like if I direct the smoke up, it's a little bit softer. If I go straight down, that's where I'm getting that spicy tingliness on the palate.
I think, I mean, again, the soft palate is one thing, the taste buds, but the olfactory is really the power of enjoying a cigar. And you can just smoke cigars for the sake of it, and you don't really care, and you go, I don't really taste it's tobacco. That's great. But if you are going to engage your olfactory and you haven't burned it out, right, and you direct it to the top of your mouth and then do a retro, the retro hell is an entirely different experience.
Yeah.
It's a smoother, richer. It's just there's nothing harsh about it. Even this is got a lot of nicotine. This is a strong cigar.
Yeah.
But much like our other blends that are meant to be bolder or full body cigars, I think the age and the fermentation afforded us by our partners allow that you cannot replace time.
No.
In my opinion, you can't replace time, and just giving it the right amount of time in the aging room, even in the post-roll, beyond the process, beyond the fermentation, the post-roll aging allows some of this power to come down and the complexity to develop, and that's what I enjoy the most about this art that I'm learning. I'm learning every day, but we don't want them out fast. We want to take our time because the Jacob's Ladder would be such a powerful cigar if you smoked it after 30 days in the aging room and we boxed it up and sent it out. It'd be strong, and a lot of people would enjoy it. But I think the masses enjoy the more complexity than just pure power.
The Jacob's
I
Ladder
agree.
uses a Pennsylvania wrapper, right?
It does. It's Lancaster grown.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to
Absolutely.
Pennsylvania.
We have a store in Lancaster.
There it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know why we don't have much time, but you want to mention the other,
Yeah,
the Kudzu and the Firethorn? We really haven't.
Well, how
talked
about the Rose of Sharon? Because I think that's the cigar that actually puts you on the map pretty well.
Well, it's yes and no. The
okay.
Kudzu and the Firethorn were the original two Southern Draw cigars. Those really pay respect to my military time and the places I served and the people I served with, and they didn't want to be named, so we went with, for example, the Firethorn. It's a Habano Rosado San Andreas binder, clean medium, but it's the cigar that my wife decided was burned well. It had such a great finish, so clean that she said, "I want to be in the cigar business with you." So that I have a great respect for because it brought us together to do what we do. The Kudzu original Oscuro Nicaraguan Ometepe. If you love bourbon, you love stout beers, you love the fall, because that time of year, that is the flavor profile. That's where you want to go. But to your point is, to put us on the map, the people that have supported Southern Draw from the beginning still smoke these two blends. Now, the people that came in the second and third year, when the Jacob's Ladder and the Rose of Sharon come in, I've taken polls and polls and polls. The Rose of Sharon, if we had an iconic cigar, it'd be that because of the pink band. And we were told that you cannot sell a
Put a
cigar
pink
with a pink band. But the pink band is the Rose of Sharon. It's the color from the flower. It's emulated there. And again, after 20 years of marriage, losing fortunes, should have packed my bags. My wife stuck with me, and the only thing I could offer at 20-year anniversary was a cigar with her name on it.
There you go.
So God bless her. But it was really blended with her character and personality. It's
Sandy,
done
get
phenomenal.
ready.
It's done well. You can always do something. And then the Jacob's Ladder. So what we're finding, I did an event yesterday, and I took a poll from everybody in there. And the newer Southern Draw smokers smoke the Rose of Sharon, then the Jacob's Ladder. Opposite ends of the spectrum. People that smoke full body, full flavored are also smoking the Rose of Sharon in between cigars, and I do that myself. Now, the people that have only smoked Southern Draw in the last couple of years, they're stuck on the Cedrus that we're smoking because it was the first one, it was the newest one. The media has done a phenomenal job of supporting the brand and sharing the message. I mean, we couldn't have done it without everybody, right? But we've been blessed in a sense that the message of each one of these is there on our website, this backstory of each one of them. we will never release a cigar that doesn't have a message behind it, doesn't have a mission behind it. It keeps us grounded, I think. But the Rosa Sharon, obviously, it's special to me because it's my wife. The Jacob's Ladder, because that's my son. Again, big, bold, but still approachable. It's been a favorite. We've been blessed with that. But we've got more toys in the toy chest. So this is just the beginning. Just the beginning.
Out of curiosity, most of them are named after some sort of plant or vine, like the Firethorn, the Jacob's Ladder. Why?
Well, three things. Actually, they all have a flora or fauna backstory or name to them, but they all have three meanings. They're all out of respect for very influential people in my life, whether it's the Hogans or Sharon or Ethan or certain military members that just didn't want to be named. They're also biblical. Each one of them have a biblical reference, and not do we always use Latin or Hebrew, but you notice Soli Deo Glorias on every band. That was Sharon's touch that said, let's keep our priorities straight. And you don't have to be a Christian to be a person of faith. There's all kinds of faith, right? But for her, faith, family, and hospitality is what Southern meant to us. That's why it's on there. Draw, and you asked this question earlier, draw is really about the science, ignition rate, burn rate, temperature of a cigar. Really focus on the science of a cigar. So we put two words together that are a little bit of a play on words, but Southern Draw is one part faith, family, and hospitality, one part science, right?
I love it.
And that's really where the
awesome.
backstory
I love
between
meaning
that.
behind stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's time for our final review.
This cigar got much sweeter. I think somebody
Yeah.
else mentioned it, and I got a on one of the retrohales, I don't remember if it was up or down, but very, very like caramel flavor. I know I said that last week too, but this one was very distinct. This is a 9.5.
I hate to agree with him. I really do.
I know it kills you.
It kills me when I agree with you. But you're absolutely right. It's a 9.5. I get all those. The peppers has subsided for me, and I'm getting the sweetness of the wrapper. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic cigar.
Yes, it is.
I don't know which one I like better, this one or the one last week. They're both fantastic.
Both good. Marianne?
The pepper came up for me, which is funny. I'm definitely tasting the green chili pepper. It's definitely not but it's it's not an overbearing black pepper or anything. It's just a really savory, smooth green pepper, if that makes any sense.
It does.
It's an excellent cigar. And reading, I'm going to agree with these two. Funny enough, 9.5.
That's
Doesn't usually
unusual.
happen.
This is a very complex cigar.
It is.
It is.
The flavors have varied. To me, it's in the high mediums.
Sure.
I mean, some people would call it full, and I go for taste. I'm not worried about strength. I go for taste. This is a very tasty cigar, easy to work with, enjoyable to smoke, and I give it a 9.75. I really, really like this cigar. I'm not embarrassed to say it. So we want to thank Robert very much.
Yeah, thank
Honored.
you for coming
Thank
out.
you.
And we want to
appreciate
thank
it.
you not
for
only for
everything
your
you do.
service, but what you've done for humanity.
And likewise, we've
Yeah.
we've been blessed, and we thank you for your support. And we
Oh,
look
our
forward to
pleasure.
growing. And tomorrow we're going to have a great event.
Yeah.
Come on out
Yep,
tomorrow.
yep.
Colmar.
Colmar.
Let's do it.
So don't forget our Saturday night show, and come to our event in Colmar tomorrow, and we'll see you next week. Bye
Ciao for now,
bye.
everybody.
Life's